RMBI gene, here to take you on another level and new horizons. See clear, no visine. Motivational talk.
Hey everybody, my name is Reggie Maddox, and you know I do the Simple Straight Talk show. Just want to give you a little piece of advice while this whole coronavirus thing is going on. When it passes away, I think everybody needs to be prepared. And I think a lot of folks are at home right now. They're kind of figuring out what to do, trying to think of what to do, how to pass the time by. A lot of folks are, at home and they're not really having very much luck with jobs or anything like that. They're not getting paychecks coming in. But listen, this is something that I mentioned on the show, so I think I want to kind of mention it here on YouTube, is I think you need to use this time to really evaluate what your plans are when this is over. Now, I'm saying this because of this. Some people are saying, listen, yes, I have a job. I'm just waiting for this whole coronavirus thing to pass over and I can go back to work. But here's what I want you to do. I want you to start thinking in the mindset of these business owners, because a lot of these business owners are going to be like, you know what? We may not get the crowds that we thought we was going to get, once they announced that it was over and people can start interacting again. A lot of businesses are going to be so far behind that they may not be able to employ the full staff they had before all this took place. So if you was at the bottom of that pile, or if you was an employee that they've been wanting to get rid of, companies always do that, then you need to be mindful of the fact that you need to have a backup plan. So I recommend that people start applying for other jobs. Because there are places that are hiring right now. Start putting your resume out there. Get your resume together. Start sending your resume out. Even if you have to take on a job and maybe it's not in the field you like, but it's something that you can do. AutoZone might be looking for a cashier. You need something as a backup to kind of keep you going. Because I'm telling you right now, as a business owner, when these companies start to come back and they go fully online, some people are going to be hesitant to go out because they're going to still be cautious. Some people are really going to be like, dang, I don't have the money because I'm having to play catch up from not working, not having a regular check coming in. So I can't afford to go out and eat. I can't afford to go to the movies. I can't afford to go to an entertainment venue. So a lot of places that hire service type people might find themselves, still not working, because businesses are not getting that crowd push. And businesses are so far behind, they're not going to bring a full staff back on just so they can sit around. The only way they're going to do that is they're going to bring staff back to meet the needs of whatever the customer demands are at the time. So if it's a restaurant and they're not getting the full crowd, instead of what they may normally have 6 to 7 servers, you may only see 2 or 3 servers. So you got to be mindful of that, and you got to start thinking about the company that you work for now. That's not speaking bad about them, because some of you probably work for some good companies, but you need to put yourself in the position to where if this company says things are too slow or they can't afford to bring a full staff back, I got a backup plan. You need to have a backup plan, because trust me, these companies right now are looking at their business first, not you, their business, because ultimately that's their livelihood. Your livelihood was based on them being able to operate a business. Their livelihood is the business. So you need to keep that in mind and kind of be mindful of that. Don't let yourself fall into a trap of comfort and thinking, oh yeah, they'll bring me back. I have a job once this is all over. You don't know that. And like I said, companies may not be letting you go, but it might be another 2 to 3 months when this is over before the business starts to pick back up, before they actually start to see like, okay, now we can start increasing our staff because people are more comfortable going out, business is starting to pick up. So be careful about that and look out for yourself. Have a backup plan. Work on your resume. Get your resume out there. Find a temporary job, or if it is just something to hold you over to see what your company does, do it. Don't just sit around. Now, I know a lot of people saying, well, the government is going to send out checks. A lot of this money is going to be going to the companies. That's who it's going to, the companies. And by the time the companies distribute that money that's supposed to help their employees, trust me, they're going to take so much off at the top, you're going to be getting pennies. And I wouldn't be surprised now. They say the government has approved a package that they can, to help people out with so much money and all this. But here's my thing. If you owe money, if there's any type of liens or anything like that, they're going to take that money. For guys, if you owe child support, they're going to take that money. So you being able to survive is not a factor. If they really cared, what they would say is, listen, anybody, debt collectors and anybody like this cannot take this money that we're sending out to relieve people who are struggling right now. Because, to take that money and give it to them means we're not helping that person. So you might have somebody who's going to end up homeless because child support took it, or some lien or judgment took it. Things happen, man. People fall on hard times. So that's why I say you can't depend on the government. In my opinion, if I was like in a position, or if I had a option in this package, I would definitely add a clause to where no debt collector, child support, or nothing can take that relief money that's supposed to be going to the people. You know what I'm saying? Because you might have somebody out there that's working their butt off, they're struggling, they can't pay child support right now. They need that because they have to live too. So, but think about that. Make sure you think about yourself and your livelihood. Don't depend on these companies. Don't depend on the government. You need a backup plan. Even if you got a temporary job right now that, that's just going to put money in your pocket, get that temporary job, get that income, because at least you have something coming in and you won't be 100% dependent on the government or dependent on this job that's kind of saying like, we can't hire you back right now. So just think about that. I know I kind of went long with that, but I really wanted to hit home with that with a lot of people. And I really want people to think about themselves during this whole time, especially your livelihood, because that's important. Oh, so other than that, check out the podcast. Season 7 has started. I think we're 3 shows in, so I hope you guys like it. There was a little bit of changes into the format. I think we got some really great topics for you guys, and this week we got another great show coming up, so make sure you check it out. Those shows drop every Friday. The other thing is, I think you got to be patient, and that's something that's want to talk to people about is being patient, because we're in a time to where I don't think people understand how much stress other people are under. If you ever watch that show Undercover Boss, one of the things about that show, man, is like to watch these people who are CEOs high up in the companies. They own the companies. They're all millionaires. But the thing about it is, when they have the opportunity to actually, when they go on this show and they go to visit different locations of stores or businesses that they own in different places around the country, it's amazing that when these employees, they're working with them, how out of touch some of these CEOs are. There was the one guy who, I can't remember the company it was, but it was a lady who owned the company with her husband, and she went to visit one of the guys who owned the salon, and basically it was like a salon type thing, and this guy, they adopted a child. which was through the, I forgot what they call that, when a woman has a baby and she gives, I can't remember the name of it. But anyway, the baby was only 1 pound when it was born. When they took the baby away, when they actually was able to take the baby home from the hospital, not take it away. When they were actually able to take the baby home from the hospital, the baby only weighed 4 pounds. And the baby had to go through so many surgeries, and they had $2 million in medical bills. And, you know, and I think I say that because this guy was at work taking care of people, doing people's hair. You know what I'm saying? You know, he was always positive, encouraging other people. He actually used to go to a women's shelter and do women's hair when they're getting ready to go for jobs, to kind of help them out because they couldn't afford to get their hair done. But the thing about it is, man, and I've said this before, you know, you got jobs where you have these managers who really thrive on being able to make people's life miserable. And you guys have heard me talk about HR departments before. A lot of HR departments are honestly useless, you know, because I told you, you know, dealing with, this is recent, you know, I had to deal with somebody who was a true racist, and people of color, especially black people, black men, were punished. Whereas white people who did things did not receive any punishment. You know what I'm saying? And the stuff that this guy is doing was just blatant. So the thing about it is, you never know what somebody is dealing with. You know, when you got somebody who's on the job and you got the manager or the company that don't care about their employees, and then, you know, you might see somebody on the job and that person is like, just let me just do my job, and they'll laugh at your little jokes and they'll talk with you and laugh with you. But in reality, man, you never know what their situation is. You got some people that's homeless but still going to a job every week. They just don't make enough to get them out of their situation, but they're working on it. You got some people like the guy, you know, who had a young baby who was going through so much, $2 million in debt and medical bills. You know, you got people who are taking care of the family members and they're struggling. You know, there was one episode about this store. I can't remember the name of the store, but the woman actually, her and her kids, she was going to work every day. When she got off work, her and her kids was living in a homeless shelter. You know, and a lot of times, man, we really don't understand what somebody else is going through. We really don't understand it. And, you know, we get so caught up in trying to please people who really care about nobody else that we sacrifice morality and humanity and humility for people. And we shouldn't be doing that, because that's not how it's meant to be. That's not how people are meant to live. You're not meant to live life to make people feel miserable, to hurt people, degrade people, minimize people's life. You know what I'm saying? It just fails to understand me how people can live with themselves, knowing that they are costing people their livelihood, that they are harming people, that they're verbally and mentally destroying people just for their own self-gratification, to feel empowered, to feel like, oh, you know, I'm this big person, I'm this big guy, you know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm a woman, I got power, you know, and I don't understand that, you know, and some people just get a kick out of that. Some people really do. You got people, and it's not always managers. You know, sometimes you got employees who've been at a job for a long time who act like they own the job. You know what I'm saying? They act like they own the company. You know, and they want new people to come in and bow down to them. So, you know, we got to learn, man, to understand that everybody's going through something. Everybody don't tell you what they're going through. Some people just try to come in, get their check. They got bigger concerns at home. So they don't have time to go to a job and deal with your hatred, your racism, your discrimination, your jealousy, your gossip, your rumors. They don't have time for that. And people get mad at them because they don't want to interact with them. It's just that they got bigger things in life to focus on. And your childish games and manipulation and all this stuff, they don't have time for that type of stuff. So it just makes you wonder, man, what is it that gets people thriving on stuff like that? Me personally, man, I can't stand people who do that. I really can't stand people who do that. You know, I it's just, it just makes me mad that people live life to do that and get nothing out of it. I just don't understand how you can sit there and just knowing that you lied on somebody on the job, or you out there lying on somebody about their relationship so you can cause problems in their relationship. You know what I'm saying? People just do stupid stuff. People go to a restaurant and you're having a bad day or whatever, or you're just one of these arrogant people and you get mad at the waitress because something's not the way you want it, so you end up telling a lie that she said something she didn't say. That's the way it is, man. That's the way it is. You just got to be one of those people that don't fall into that trap. Don't let people like that bring you into their world, because when you do, you end up, man, being miserable. And I do believe that stuff comes back around, especially when you messing with somebody that's a child of God. It comes back around. That person may not see it, but it'll happen. It'll come back. You will feel the repercussions of the wickedness and manipulation and wrong stuff you done to people. That's just me. That's how I feel about it. But you know what, man? You just got to hang in there. Life goes on. Do what you do, But anyway, just want to shout that out to y'all, man. Y'all enjoy y'all day. Be safe. Be smart. You know what I'm saying? Make plans. Use this time to plan for you and take care of yourself. Do what you want to do. You want to write that book? Write that book. You want to start a business? Start that business. Whatever you want to do, man. Start making plans. Start researching where you want to go and where you want to be in life, because you can get there. No matter what they say, no matter who laugh at you, don't believe in you, do what you got to do to have the life you want. Hey, this is Reggie. Make sure y'all check out the podcast, man. Please give me a like down below. Leave a comment, and I will catch you next time.
Let him revitalize you. It's time to tune in. This here's so fire. Empower your voice to inspire. Yeah, RMBI Gym.